Aloha kako, and welcome to Miss Happy Mess, where sometimes it feels like our lives are falling apart. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't want to make it sound like I'm always a catastrophe. Moment to moment, I could be okay sometimes, guys. But the point is, we're together, we're here, we're supporting one another. And so today, I wanted to bring on my dear friend, Donato.
Oh my gosh. Hey, y'all. You're not a catastrophic mess all the time, but I am. So I'm so glad to be able to be here on the Miss Happy Mess podcast to talk about being the queen of pivot?
The queen of pivot. I mean, honestly, you have been pivoting before it was a buzzword. We were just natural pivoters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and now, you're an actress, you're a red carpet host.
Yes.
She is host on the hit podcast Island Fever. Hey! And you're still pivoting.
Still pivoting.
Right?
So many things. If it brings in a coin, trust and believe I will figure it out. But that's so funny that you're sharing about your experience being 6 years old and learning how to pivot in that way, right?
Yeah.
I remember when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I was growing up in Ili'ili in American Samoa, and it's right by the golf course. And one of my first entrepreneurial ventures was actually taking all of my dad's old golf balls and breaking in through the back gate of the golf course and selling golf balls from anywhere between like 50 cents to $2.50. And that was a way that as an 11-year-old kiddo, I was able to fund my weekend excursions to the movie theaters.
Oh.
And so where I got to go see like all of these beautiful projects come to life, take the bus by myself and buy all the snacks that I wanted, and
from
just
your
be in
money.
from my golf ball money.
Yeah.
And so like just thinking about dreaming big beyond American Samoa to work in TV and film, and I get to do that today. She was pivoting before she even knew.
Pivoting. I mean, you were way
pivoting.
more advanced than me because as a little girl, I would make a pot of Jell-O.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not a good cook. I would take one spoon and the pot and go door to door and sell you a spoonful of Jell-O for 25 cents.
Yeah. Okay.
People were like, "Can we just give you the quarter? We don't want your Jell-O."
Yes. And that was part of the beauty of being like a kid entrepreneur is that so many people that were my customers were just like admiring that a kid was out there like hustling.
Yeah.
And so would they give me more than I was like selling these golf balls for? Absolutely.
Because the point was not the product.
Yeah.
The point was you.
Yeah. And just to see how people were like willing to support someone that was willing and able to like go out there and change their circumstance, whatever it looked like, to get the thing that they wanted.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how supportive people can truly be in that way.
No, totally. I mean, the hustle was so admired, I think, by adults when they see a child doing it, right? So was your dream always to be an actress, like in the industry? What was your dream as a child?
Yes. As a kid, and I think a lot of this comes from growing up in American Samoa or just as a Pacific Islander, we know that culturally, the way that we tell stories and convey where it is that we come from and all of those things, it's embedded in the ways that we sing, dance, our chants, and all of those things. So it was bigger than me. And I always felt called to impact the world through performance art. I didn't necessarily have the tools and the resources growing up in American Samoa to know what it would actually take to build a career that centered that, right? Nobody that I knew growing up had actually done that. Sure, people that I knew shared those same dreams and or passions, but I'd never fully seen someone go and do the big thing.
Right.
Right? And so I always felt called to it. There were moments where even just late at night, while everybody's asleep, I'm playing music and watching choreography and studying it down to a T. And then when everybody wakes up or when we have like the family gatherings, like that's the moment I get called to perform.
What were you watching? Like, you've mentioned film, you've mentioned choreography. Like, what was some of your favorite films growing up?
Yeah.
What were you watching?
Let me start by like what I was performing and following.
Yes.
Like Britney Spears for me was that girl.
Yes.
Anytime Hit Me Baby One More Time was played, trust me, she got that choreography down. Did it get me into some trouble sometimes? Absolutely.
Yes.
There was one time I was on a camping trip when we were younger, and I was in Seattle by this time because my parents, they had divorced and my dad moved there. And it was like the first outing that we did as like this new church community that I was being part of. And I remember distinctly on the bus to, I think it was somewhere in Wenatchee. If you're from Washington, you know, like we're going from Tacoma to Wenatchee where we're having this camp. And a group of younger girls were singing Hit Me Baby One More Time, and they were butchering the hell out of it.
And you're like, stop.
And as a young queer kid, right,
Yeah.
not sure yet if it was like fully safe to show the
sure.
fullness
Yes.
of what she could do. I
Yes.
was holding, like I was like, and I was gritty and grinding my teeth because I was like, they are butchering it. They're not doing it justice.
You're like, I can kill this.
And I just couldn't take it anymore. So I bust out in full song with choreography. And as soon as it was done, I was mortified by the way that like they were looking at me like, where the hell did all of that just come from? And then after that awkward moment of silence, some of the kids were like, oh my gosh, yes. And then I found my people. Were there other kids that were like, Emala?
Yeah. But you're like, you're not my people.
Then you're not my people.
This is an immediate filter situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
then as a kid, some of my favorite films watching growing up is actually like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Like I'm kind of actually nerdy in a lot of those ways. I gravitate a lot towards like sci-fi, like high fantasy dramas, and things of that nature. So if you ever want to geek out,
She's the one to
She
talk
geeky.
about with
She
some
geeky.
J.R. Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien, yeah. Mhm.
Wait, so did you fantasize about being in different lands and different places when you were young?
Yeah. I think, if I dig really deep, it's like knowing that I came from a home where my parents had divorced and like completely separated the dynamic that I was born into. It also separated me and my siblings, right? And so stories were a way that like I found comfort in being able to escape. And like thinking about what Frodo, for example, is able to like break free from the Shire and go on this epic freaking journey beyond his life circumstance, beyond his level of comfort, and do this incredible thing that would just like change the world in a really big way.
And it changes the Shire, but first it changes all of the outside. And then he meets all of these amazing people who are completely outside of his normal community, who makes him like a more full person. I feel like, oh my God, that is the life path of an artist who journeys outside of their small community into like the big world.
Yeah. And like
deep.
you'd be surprised when you find the guides that are willing to support you along the way.
Yeah.
Right. And so when I'm able to meet people and connect, I hold so much gratitude in my heart because I know that I would not be where I am today without so many of those like guides that have just either nurtured me, helped pivot me, even when things didn't work out, right? Like, it's okay to move beyond what didn't work out, but still have gratitude for the lessons that we learned along the way.
Yeah.
And I think because as a kid, it was always clear to me that I would have a career or life opportunities that centered storytelling and performance art, that I would find my people. And so moving here to LA was just one of those things. For a while, I did allow fear to stunt me and like kind of, what is the word? Like numb me from fully embracing it. And there were a lot of things that happened from when I was a kiddo till when I finally made the big decision to move here to LA
Yeah.
and say, fuck it, I'm going to go. Can
Yeah.
I swear?
Yeah, you can swear. Watch. Fuck.
Period.
Done.
Exclamation point.
But I mean, it is a very scary journey because there is no clear end.
Yeah.
There's no clear even ladder because this journey is not one that you just keep going like this. It goes down and up, and you don't even know where you are on the ladder at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you didn't just go from Samoa to Washington and then like, ooh, I'm going to be in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
It took some pivots and turns.
It took many years to finally get here.
Yeah.
One of the things I always laugh when I tell this story. When I was in high school, I was the captain of the cheerleading squad,
Nice.
and I had absolutely no business teaching these girls how to do all of these like tricks that you see on Bring It On. Also, one of my faves growing up.
Did you watch it, pause, and be like, we can do that. Let's do that.
Absolutely.
You're like,
I don't know what is wrong with me in my brain when I see when I can see that somebody else has done something incredible. I'm like, I can hack that.
we're going to do that.
We're going to figure it out. And so I was studying rigorously on YouTube on how to break down the structures of training my classmates how to do these stunts. I had them on like a rotation of a very strict training routine.
That's amazing.
And so I was really proud that when we got to a place to like do performances, we were the first like high school around that time to actually be like doing basket tosses
Really?
and pyramids in American Samoa. And I say I had no business doing any of this because we had no coach. You know,
you were the coach.
with proper training. I was a coach. And like looking back now, it's like if any of these like people got hurt,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oops. But like what was also cool around building community is that we were also able to recruit some of like the football players to
Nice.
come and help us like do the big stunts as well.
That's awesome.
So like part of that beauty of like, you know, when you see these like tropes and narratives on like a lot of Western media that like it would be gay for like football players to like be part of like the cheerleading squad, right? There's something like cool that was happening where like the football players are like, oh no,
This is very
the
cool.
girls need help.
Yes.
We're gonna go do that.
Yeah.
And like they came together and we were all able to like create like really cool, incredible like performance art.
But it takes a kind of visionary to say, I know we have no business doing this, but we can do this.
But we can do
And there's
this.
a level of, you know, that kind of bravery, freedom, and positivity to
Mm-hmm.
say, let's just do it. Let's just try it. And then
Yeah.
we're going to, you know, bring in the football players and we're just going to show up and do it and take a leap. Like, I think that's so much about creativity is
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
being able to say, I actually don't know how to do this, and we're still going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
That is why we are sitting here on these couches.
Yeah. I remember when Miss Happy Mess was in its like possibility phase,
Yeah.
and like to even just be sitting here across from you and knowing like we get to talk
Let's
story in
just
this
do it.
way,
Yeah.
makes me so happy.
So I want you to tell me about shipping, and I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you about valet.
Okay, period. Before we go there, can
Yeah,
I tell
yeah.
just one more story about
You
that
can tell
time
10
of my
more
life?
stories.
Because I think one thing that really affected my confidence, and if you know me, you know I'm a confident ass woman.
She is.
But one thing that really shattered my confidence was a period in high school when I was gearing up to apply for Juilliard. And mind you, nobody I'd ever known had gone there.
Sure.
But I knew it was like, this is like the freaking school to go to.
Yeah.
And I got to beef up my resume to be able to be competitive enough to, one, go, but to get a scholarship. That because in American Samoa, like, minimum wage is set at the federal level for $7.25, but around that time, $7.25. Yes, but around that time when I was still in high school, most folks were making about $4.50.
Wow.
And part of a law that was passed was that it would grow incrementally by 25 cents every year until it reaches the federal minimum.
Wow.
So that's a condition that most, people
yeah.
that live in American Samoa, their economic position.
Yeah.
And the only way I could envision for myself going as far as Juilliard, the military wasn't for me.
No.
And sports was not for me.
Right.
So I was like, I gotta get a scholarship to go to Juilliard. And so again, another way I had no business doing something was I had skipped high school to go to college, the American Samoa Community College, when I heard that they were putting on a production of Lion King. I was like, that is one of my absolute favorite plays. I just want an opportunity. And so I was
Wait, how does
skipping.
a high schooler just say like I'm gonna bag out on high school and now I'm skipping to college?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I was an overachieving like student. So like in a lot of ways, I was like, I'm already acing these classes. I had good relationships with the teachers. I was involved in every like extracurricular minus sports, JROTC, and the Christian Club. So I had built really strong rapport. And so whenever I needed to just say to a teacher like, hey, can I have this period to go work on this other thing?
They were
this
like,
project,
yes,
they were
go.
absolutely go. Like your work is already submitted. You're ahead of all of your things. And so my cousin Fono, who was at the college and told me that all of this was happening, she gave me the 411 on when the audition is going to be. I would call her up and she'd come pick me up from high school. I had to sneak off campus
To go to the Lion King.
to go audition for Lion King. And so I show up in that room and I know some of like the college, Samoa was so small. I know some of the college students, but I'd never met the program director that was putting on the show. And so I basically snuck in. They were already like hitting counts and all of that. And I just jumped into the choreography.
Wait, was it cast?
Not yet.
Oh, you were there. They were doing audition.
Yeah. Audition
dance and,
choreography.
audition
Yeah,
choreography.
yeah.
Oh, and
There
so
was-
you just jumped right
I just
into
jumped
it.
right in. I just jumped right in. Not only was I early, but like I just jumped right in. But I was like, if anybody here outs me as a high schooler that is like auditioning for this, I might be done with. I might be packing my bags and going home.
Oh, no.
But I like pushed past that fear and just as soon as it started, jumped into the choreography, rounds and rounds of it. And the next thing you know, by the end of it, I was cast as a lioness. And I almost like,
Wow.
I was just really, really emotional and like proud of myself.
You're emotional now.
I'm emotional right now, just like thinking about how resilient Baby Donato was.
Yes.
And always, and is.
And is.
And is.
Is.
But like then I had to figure out and I was like, oh shit, now I'm in this like thing. I made it past like the audition
Yeah.
and I'm in it. And then I talked to the director and I was like, hey, so just so you know, I'm still a high school student at Tafuna.
Oh,
This
so
is
you
my
came clean.
Then I
Okay,
came
okay.
clean, but I finagled my way in to prove myself
Yeah.
before I could have the
That's
conversation.
resilience. That's resilience.
Yeah.
And
Now-
was it a good experience?
It was a wonderful experience up until a certain point. Now, for weeks, I was skipping high school to go to the rehearsals when we were having rehearsals and all of those things. But simultaneously, in Samoa, we have this big like arts festival called the Speech Fest. And if you know, you know, around that time, I was like the Meryl Streep of Speech Festival.
I love it.
Literally the most decorated like speech festival competitor.
Wow. How long have you been competing at that
Since
point?
high school. Like, and it was something that I knew I was always going to be part of, but
Yeah.
part of how I gained so many accolades in it
Right.
was I was each year in multiple categories and like choreographing like large like groups of students to like choral like
Wait, so there's choreography in it wasn't just a speech. It wasn't just a poetic.
There's
poets.
categories of like musical like
okay.
performance, choral recitation of poetry,
got
like
it.
individual monologues, short drama play, short comedy.
I see.
Like all of like the different categories.
Wait, and so you're doing this and the Lion King
And
at
I'm
the
doing
same
this
time?
and the Lion King.
And
That
you're going
year,
to high school still?
that year I was in 4 categories. I was choreographing the our musical production of Little Shop of Horrors. And then our lead dropped out and then I had to step in to play Aubrey.
Okay. Oh my God.
So like I'm in 4 other projects and I'm doing Lion King my senior year. I'm like totally I'm going to have everything that I need to really beef up my resume and like have a strong shot at getting a full ride scholarship. One day I show up to the rehearsal and the director pulls me aside and is just like, I want you to know that plagiarism is something that I take very seriously. And so because of that, you're no longer welcome to this production,
The Lion King production.
the Lion King production.
Because she believed you had plagiarized.
She believed that I had plagiarized some of the choreography that was imbued in that project and taking it to teach what I was doing at the high school level.
Was it true?
Which was not the case. However, we did a contemporary choral recitation of an African poem, and there were parts of the melody, because Samoa is so small, everybody was talking about Lion King.
Oh, I see.
And there was parts of the melody that infused He Lives in You.
I see.
And so that was enough for her to decide that I was no longer going to be part of it, and it completely shattered my world.
Oh.
I took the hit. We did go and I think we placed second for that specific category. We took first place for the musical.
But how did it affect you and Juilliard?
It affected me so much that I didn't apply.
You never applied?
I never applied.
Because of the director from The Lion King?
I took the L.
Why?
There was something that told me that maybe I wasn't good enough or ready enough just yet.
Because
Wow, why am I crying?
Well, because it's a core memory. I mean, this is clearly something that's stayed with you. I want to know, you knew you didn't plagiarize. What in you felt that you weren't ready? And also, I want to hug you.
Can we get some tissue?
Yes, totally. We will
I
get
told
your
you I'm a catastrophic mess.
Oh my gosh. We're getting tissue. We're getting tissue.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I allowed that fear to block my ability to fully pursue it for a long time. I would probably say a little over 10 years. So we lived many lives in between, right? There was a period of my life where, again, I had no business being in the shipping and distribution.
Wait, sorry. So after...
Thank you so much.
After... Well, I'll let you... You take your time.
Ooh.
Oh. So after this happened, you didn't apply to Juilliard, and then are you saying you were not creative? You stepped away from creativity for 10 years?
Not necessarily. I just deprioritized my passion, right?
Wow.
I ended up going to Chaminade University instead in Honolulu.
Oh, yeah.
And I was preparing to pursue broadcast communications.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, at least it's adjacent.
I see.
Somewhat, I would develop on-camera skills and journalistic skills, and then from there just figure out how to break into the industry, right? But what I was subconsciously doing was saying, I'm not good enough yet, and so therefore I'm gonna go and do all of this other stuff until I can feel ready enough to just go for it. And that was kind of the story for a long time. Have there been other ways that I tapped into creativity and community? Absolutely. But to have the boldness that Baby Donato had to be no, I'm good enough. I'm going to be fearless. And I'm just going to go and freaking do it. It took me a while to finally get back there for this specific dream.
Because it seems like Baby Donato was in her full skin doing The Lion King, doing the work at the other competition, balancing everything.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking for me that this comment would just rip that out of the youthful you.
Yeah.
So that you question your own readiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I wish that conversation would have happened differently.
Yeah.
Right? I wish there could have been grace extended.
There was so much accusation.
Yeah. Not even just accusation. It was decided before I even had a chance to say anything.
Wow. Yeah, not even innocent before guilty, just guilty, guilty.
Yeah. And it was all based off of a rumor. And then when I talked to my cousin about it, my cousin Fono, who was the one picking me up and taking me to college, to allow me to skip high school, she shared that, there were people at the college that rumor was circulating.
Wow.
And so I took the L. Am I grateful for that experience today? It's part of the story.
Yeah.
And so I have to hold gratitude that it happened the way it did because it helped shape who I am today, right?
Yeah.
And so it's also taught me more about like trust and work ethic, like beyond what it is that we do, right? Whether we are setting out to do it in the most ethical practice, there will be people that just have different opinions.
Yeah.
About
And decisions have already been made.
And decisions already made.
Yeah.
And I refuse in this period of my life to allow those opinions to shake me the way they did. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you go to Chaminade and you're looking at broadcasting, but then at some point you go to Seattle, right?
Yeah. After, y'all, I am a college dropout.
We're on a roll. We've had multiple college dropouts on the show.
I mean, is this not where we can talk about the best?
This is a safe space for my college dropouts. Safe space.
Yeah. And so I go to Chaminade, again, high achieving in like grades are stellar. So many leadership positions.
Yeah.
I don't know why folks had voted me to be like their freshman class senator. I was a residential like representative for our hall. I was on the allocations board committee. I was like the treasurer for the Samoan club.
How long were you there?
I was there 1 year.
Oh my God.
I was there 1 year. They gave me so much power.
Oh my God. So where do you go after that?
After that, like I took an L because I ended up dropping out of college because I just couldn't afford to continue a second year. And so I had started working other jobs and doing sex work. And then I just found like that working 3 jobs in Hawaii and not being able to self-sustain was a serious problem.
I'm sorry, you just breezed over and doing sex work like
Yeah.
you said you were waiting tables. So can you go back to that, please?
Yeah.
Like, how did you get to a place where you're like, I'm gonna do sex work? Like, because that's a huge decision,
Yeah.
right? I mean, jobs in general are a huge decision, but that is specifically. So tell me more about that. Like,
Yeah. When I was first trying to find work, there was like, and mind you, entry-level jobs as a 18, 19-year-old.
in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, I was getting applications in everywhere. And what I was noticing was that as soon as the interview was happening, the shift in the energy. Right? Because my legal documents had not been updated. So when I was applying for jobs, I'd have to list male. And so now I'm showing up as my full Donato self, who had always been socially transitioned since she was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm showing up and it's not matching what they're seeing.
So you're having immediate discrimination.
Yeah.
And you're losing the job as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah. And like to sit across from someone knowing that like they're not going to hire you, but they're just interviewing you to go through the motions. I don't wish that on anyone.
That's awful.
But like I determined like something else has to give.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, the other thing is so many, like that experience is not unique to me. So many other trans women face that every single freaking day. Yeah. And I knew a group of trans women that were already doing sex work. And I'm grateful that I had folks that knew how to move in ways that, you know, kept them as safe as possible. That were mentoring me through that process. So yeah, I was turning tricks while I was going to school and then after I dropped out. And that was one source of income. But I knew that there had to be other ways to continue to make money. And so why did I just say money? Like I'm like make money. I almost rapped that. Hey. Other ways to make money. And so I was doing like an MLM. I was
a multi-layer. I don't even know what the M is. Money.
Multi-level marketing. Multi-level
Multi-level
marketing. I'm finding these jobs on Craigslist where it's like you could earn this much. And mind you, I'm also on Craigslist because I'm pulling dates from there too.
Sure.
So like, but I'm like, I'm gonna look at everything. So I'm like doing an MLM. I am a hostess on the what is it called again? Wow, I'm terrible. The dinner cruise at the Aloha Tower.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
What was that called?
Star of Honolulu.
Yes, Star of Honolulu.
I was a Star of Honolulu
No way.
waitress.
My girlfriend worked on there too. When you would walk
So
on the boat.
many of the Islanders
and
on there,
yes,
girl.
she would give you the aloha.
Very that.
Yes.
I was serving drinks, 5-course dinner meal,
Yes.
ending the night with YMCA, giving the tourist a performance.
Yes.
And even in that, I was like, okay, this is adjacent
Yeah.
to what I want to do, which is like perform.
Girl, I'm sure we met each other in Waikiki because
Yeah.
I was selling flowers. I was the girl with the basket
Yeah.
who was walking through the clubs, through the restaurants, trying to
Yes.
sell your date of flour because I couldn't get jobs. And I was just like, flour, hi. And you know where I made the most money? At the strip clubs.
Period.
And those girls, the dancers, I have mad respect for them
Yeah.
because they were the ones who would be like, come inside. We will make sure you sell all of that.
Yes.
And they always looked out for me.
Yes.
Yes.
That is what, like, even, you know, the women that mentored me through sex work.
Yeah.
A lot of them were just like very nurturing and be like, this is how you're gonna make money.
Yes.
Right? And it wasn't life changing for me.
No.
But like, and mind you, living in Hawaii is so damn expensive.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that. And then I was also working at a parking garage.
I just want to say though, there is a community of women in Hawaii who do a myriad of different kinds of sex work. And there's like Pretty Woman that has like hypersexualized it. And then there's like other things that make it seem like it's awful and everybody's on drugs. And I just want to break the stereotype. That is a very close community of women who look out for other women. And a lot of the women are in charge of themselves. Enough said.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, those were just other ways I was tapping into my little entrepreneurial spirit.
Totally.
But like what I was noticing was the cycle of a hustle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because what my days would look like is I would go work the Star of Honolulu cruise, and then I would go work overnight at the parking garage. The Waikiki parking garage.
Oh my gosh, you worked at the parking garage.
I was a parking attendant.
like on Kuhio or something like that? Or Kalakaua?
Off Seaside
Okay.
and
lures?
Kuhio.
okay. Yeah.
And Kuhio. And then, there was also a time I was working at the club right across the street, Low Jackson Fusions. So like, and then in between that, I was doing sex work as well. So it's like I was on this constant hustle and I got burnt out. And I decided, okay, I just need some time to decompress. I need an eat, pray, love moment. I'm going to go back to Samoa, spend some time there and just sort this out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was just like the most beautiful 3 months. I got to deepen my relationship to like my family, my community, get closure on in Samoa, because when I had left for college, like I graduated Saturday and like I flew to Hawaii on Monday.
Oh, it was fast.
It was fast.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to like say goodbye or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I was back in Samoa, I started tutoring English.
Oh, nice. More pivots.
More pivots. I started tutoring English, and then I was also a tour guide for when the cruise ships come.
Okay.
My friend Fania, his dad owns one of the buses, and they have like a whole like operation. And his dad was like, "We want Donato to go be a tour guide," and even there, I was giving full performance.
Right.
Running them tourists through songs, history, and all of the things.
Performing all the way through.
That's yeah.
crazy.
And so it was through that experience that one of the recruiters came for a company to work in the fishing industry in Alaska. And the company is based in Seattle. Oh. So in order for me to get to Alaska, I had to get my ass to Seattle. So I was hustling to like pay for my fare to get to Seattle. And so I went and did that job. And then after a year, I was like, okay.
And what was that job? That was in a factory or something?
Yeah.
Were you canning or?
So I had multiple roles. So factory life, it looks very much like 16 to 18 hours of hard labor every day.
Wow.
And for at least the first 8 hours, you have one specific function. So whether that's what they call like candling or machine operating or sorting, so many different functions, but you're tied to one function for the first 8 hours.
And is that repetitive for 8 hours?
It's repetitive as hell.
Okay.
Like it was driving me insane to be at one function for full 8 hours. Props to all of the aunties and uncles that could, because just seeing so many of the elders in these jobs, working in these conditions, it's just really
That's
softened my
amazing.
heart. I tried to do as much as I could to help ease the burden from them, if that meant lifting more baskets. But also that was not just my experience. Like so many of like the other Pacifican Islanders there would lean in those ways culturally
Yeah.
to help care for our kupuna.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
exhausting work.
it is,
That will
it
break your
is.
body.
But what I ended up doing was convincing the foreman to let me change roles every 2 hours.
Oh,
Like she got what she wanted, but I got to change different roles every hour. And one of like my most favorite jobs was actually what they call a driver. You're operating heavy machinery, and like the fish will come down. They pump it into these tanks, and the goal I think was to like process beyond 350,000 like heads of like pollock an hour, or
What?
maybe an hour, or by shift. Fact check me.
she's had 18
I'm
jobs
messy.
since. So
But
she
it was like
cannot
over
remember.
300, so we had to make quota. And when you can run your machine efficient, and this thing is moving nonstop,
Wow.
like you're the head of that team, you're driving the fish, and the way that you position it affects how the machine fillets it and processes it. And then your team, what they do is they candle it, they pick out any of the
What
worms.
does candle it mean?
Candling is like it comes through on this conveyor belt that there's light underneath, so you can see any of the imperfections of the fish,
Oh.
or if there's worms. So candling means you get to pick out the worms from the fish. You're checking for bones, you're feeling for bones, you're pulling it off, and then it gets weighed into baskets, sorted, and then it gets frozen, packaged, stored, transported onto another ship, and on your table.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
So-
Do not take your fish on your plate for granted.
A lot of work goes into
Wow.
it. But it was really cool for me to understand like the full operation.
Yeah.
Right. I think what helps me build confidence in anything that I do is knowing how it works from start to finish. And so I like just applied that in every like facet of life. So by the time I had laid roots in Seattle, I was brought on, again, no business in working in warehousing, but I was brought on as what they call a lumper.
What's a lump?
And a lumper is someone that when large pallets of product is being shipped between warehouses,
Yeah.
a lumper is the one that helps break them down so that they could be stored in the warehouse. So say you get a large pallet that's like
I'm
8
learning
feet
so much,
tall.
you guys.
That's like 8 feet tall. And the lumping breakdown tells you that these are going to be needing to be broken down onto 2 pallets.
Wow.
And then there's a tie high. And what a tie high is how many boxes per level, and then how many stacks going up.
Wow. Wait.
And so the math was mathing hard, but like, again, like my brain just got so curious to understand how all of this like distribution center works.
Yeah.
So I was in a temporary position. I got hired to become a warehouse picker,
Okay.
which is the person that drives through the warehouse to pull like the quantities or the product that the stores order.
Okay.
And then from there, I became the warehouse associate.
So
which,
was this
like,
going to be your
man-
life? Like, were
I
you,
thought that was gonna be
was
my
this
life.
your career? Was this
That was my career. I was there for 5 years.
okay?
I thrived so hard in that freaking company that by the time I was in the administrative level, working as like their invoicing person, and in my free time was figuring out where to cut costs and save money.
Yeah.
I was finding billing discrepancies that saved this company over $1 million a year.
Oh my gosh. Wait, but you left.
I ended up leaving, but I left with a degree. They couldn't pay me more than what they could because of the bracket of my position. But what the leadership, how they invested in me was like, we know you're doing so much beyond your scope of work, and you're doing such incredible stuff. Can you take on a little bit more responsibility? And I was like, I can, but can you pay for me to go back to school?
Oh, you literally got a degree.
I literally got a degree through this. And, you know, for most corporations, the structure is that you can go to school through whatever scholarship program they have and get reimbursed.
Dude, that's a hot tip, guys. If you're in this situation, ask your boss to send you back to school.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And here's how I pushed it
Genius.
further. I was like, I know we have that scholarship program. I don't have the money to front that cost. I have your Amex. Can I put it on your Amex right now?
Yes.
And they said, absolutely, yes.
Yes.
All of your school supplies, whatever you need, your tuition, pay for it on the card.
Because you're helping the company.
Absolutely.
You getting a degree makes the company better.
So your
Until-
girl was able to go and get her accounting degree.
Yeah.
Which I had no business doing because that's not fully what I ever wanted. But I did it because it was required at the time and was helping me to, again, pivot.
Yeah.
Right? But I was leveraging myself and gaining better skills on how to operate businesses and to think more like a business.
Sure. Because you are your business.
Because I am the business,
You
baby.
are the business. Wait, so we are getting a degree. We are so ensconced in this corporation. I feel like that's the job that most people then keep for the rest of their life. You have job security, you have respect, you have investment for your corporation.
Yeah.
How were you feeling personally?
I was feeling so fulfilled.
So why'd you leave?
I left not by choice.
Oh.
The company was bought out by another company, and so they folded. They had to move our facility to about 2 hours away, and I was not willing to move. An organization that's near and dear to my heart that I've always been working with since I laid roots in Seattle was coming into a position of growing out its team. And my dear sis, Taffy Maine, was the executive director and still is for the Utopia Washington organization.
Yeah, Utopia Washington.
And so Taffy brought myself and Tepa on. Tepa's role was to build out programs, and my role was to build out operations and finance.
So you didn't go with the corporation and you stayed with the nonprofit.
I stayed with the nonprofit. I basically created my job at the nonprofit.
That's awesome.
And then during that time, for a couple years, we grew that organization from a staff of like 2 to 23.
Wow.
Through the pandemic. So
Yep.
the work never stopped. We're feeding up to 650 families a week
In the
through
Seattle area.
in the Seattle area through the pandemic.
Wow.
But there was a project called Lego Harry Potter and the Transgender Witch that was being born out of.
I love that you say things like, it's no problem. Like, say the title again.
Lego Harry Potter and the Transgender Witch.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
That's an amazing title.
I'm the Transgender Witch. So this was a project that was born out of J.K. Rowling's anti-trans essay that the BBC had nominated her for the Russell Award. And I got cast as the lead voiceover artist, and it was produced over 2 years. And that was my creative outlet that really, as we were getting letters literally from middle school students about the impact that Quincy was having on their lives and making them feel more seen, especially through the pandemic era, it meant so much to me. And I was like, this is the impact that I want to generate for our people.
Yeah, through creativity.
Community.
Yeah.
And so I made a major life pivot and was like, I'm going to just go to LA and figure it out. I don't know anyone in this industry, but I know myself. I know what I'm capable of. I found that courage again to go fully after this thing, despite having suppressed my passion for so long.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 years now. And like, it's
Since
wild
you've
to
been in
say,
LA?
since I've been in LA and so many of the connections that I made, the people I've come across,
Yeah.
I'll never forget meeting you at the Next School Wins premiere. Y'all, not only was I like shitting bricks,
She
because
looked
this
gorgeous.
I was gorgeous as hell, shitting bricks.
It was a Next Goal Wins, the Taika Waititi movie about football. I walked in and this one's on the red carpet and I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It was my first red carpet ever.
And you were shitting bricks. It
And
didn't
I was
look like
shitting
it.
bricks because I was
Gold
like,
bricks.
gold bricks, gold bricks. But I was just so nervous because I was like, wow, like these are the stages and like the spaces that I've always been called to. And
You're here.
now that I'm here, what am I going to do with this time here? And so as like a one-person producing operation, like I was covering the red carpet, but I'll never forget meeting you in the bathroom because the carpet had just closed. And I had to take a moment to go to the bathroom and just like, wow, have some gratitude, hit the vape. And then as I came out of the stall, like your energy immediately was like, wow, you don't know me, but I saw you on the carpet and you were really crushing it.
You were.
And we had that moment. I was like, I felt so seen. And I was like, thank you. You didn't know what that meant to me to just hear, especially after just having that silent moment of gratitude that I just fucking did that thing.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So you really held space for me. And then like hearing from folks like you and others in our Pacifica community in Hollywood, like folks have been like, it's so great to have one of us on the other side of the carpet.
100%. Your questions, I mean, I've been on that side of the red carpet where
Yeah.
you're interviewing me. Your questions are specific. Your questions is from a point of view that people who are not in our community don't even know to ask. It's like home.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And it's so funny as far as the bathroom's concerned, because when I came out and I saw you were there, I was like, this is so awkward. I'm in the bathroom and I'm going to start stalking this woman.
Stalk away.
I know. I was just like, oh no, she's going to think I'm crazy. So it's so wonderful that
Yeah.
it made impact on you, because I was just like, but you've made it. You're here. You're here in Hollywood. You've pivoted so much. You, like I said, like I started with, you're on a podcast, you're on red carpets, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Are you still working other jobs?
Absolutely. You got to in this economy, right? It's interesting because I recently started owning my producer title.
Yeah.
Right? My ability to get projects made, build connections, find funding. A lot of that experience comes from like my nonprofit arm of work and my corporate side of work. But like the challenging thing is also being the talent, right? Like and holding all of those things. So what does that look like for my day to day? I'm on constant producing calls. I'm the one that's like scheduling all of the things, coordinating. I also have to take time to study and like practice for myself. I'm also working other gigs. Like, I don't know if people know this, but I'm also a caregiver.
You
like,
are?
I am. I'm also a caregiver right now. I was also doing like, I had no business being a brand ambassador for an alcohol brand when I don't even drink.
This
So I'm like-
episode is called No Business Doing.
No business doing. So yeah, I'm also a caregiver. I'm a consultant working with other nonprofit organizations and communities to help them with their narrative change work and strategy.
You're just constantly going.
I'm constantly going and it's fulfilling and all of the things. But sometimes it's like, when am I going to catch that break that's going to make the biggest impact to help me just kind of like stabilize a bit so I don't feel like I have to constantly be in hustle mode.
Yeah, no, the hustle mode is for real. And I read comments from Island Fever.
Yeah.
And from like your drive to come here based on the Lego, right? The Lego YouTube. The comments are tenfold now because people are reaching back out and responding to Island Fever and feeling seen and having a good time.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've accomplished something on your own and on Island Fever that the community has not seen. And I want to congratulate you. I mean, this has been quite a journey to the red carpet, and it took so much resilience and how many pivots, and you've never stopped, and you will never stop. I
can't.
As somebody who's hustling, like you cannot believe, here I am, your podcast host. I was also your bartender at a Grammys party 6 months ago.
Period. Okay.
Like I will cater if I need to because I am a single mom and I need to make money. And the hustle is real and it's exhausting, but it doesn't stop. And I see you and you're amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it means the most to me to surround myself with like-minded people like you that have just such a clear vision of what they want for their life, and remain dedicated to making it possible.
And impact, because I feel like what we have in common is like what we want for ourselves involves the impact of our community.
Absolutely. So I'm curious to learn more about this valet experience because that sounds like a messy era.
I know. I have to tell you on part 2 of You and I.
Okay.
I love you, girl.
All right. I love you too.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you so much for joining us. That's the end of the episode, but it's just the beginning of the conversation. As we talked about, we love comments. We love hearing from you. Don't forget, new episodes drop every Tuesday, and we have a happy hour episode on Friday, bonus episode. Gosh, embrace the chaos. Remember to breathe. Bye. This episode was produced by Jill Dickerson, Kimberly Rose Kaiolani Wolter, and Christian Fenene Schmidt. Technical producer, Daniel Asmalash. Editor, Peter Filimawa. Social media manager, Benjamin Pola. Music by Mary J. Madden. Promotional consideration provided by the Park Shore Waikiki Hotel. We want to thank our friends and family who support us. Mahalo for listening. Ahui ho!